more interest to just those notes that we used in. Thanks, Jeremy.
Thank you. Okay. So, David just talked to you about doing some improvisation with the melody. I'm going to teach you on your left hand some things you can do. Improvising the harmonies instead. Does anybody know why we do improvisation? Any ideas? Has anybody ever made a mistake when they were performing? Played a wrong note? Is it sometimes hard to figure out what to do after you play a wrong note? Well, if you get used to making up stuff, then you can just make up all your pieces. And so in your lesson, when your teacher says, "Oh, well, that was a wrong note," you said, "No, it was improvisation." Okay. I'm going to teach you just a quick little trick. So all improvisation is a whole bunch of tricks, and whoever has the most little tricks in their bag, they win. So we're going to do, I'm going to change this registration real quick. Yeah, it's a little soft. Okay. Has anyone heard of the word ostinato before? What's an ostinato? Anyone? Siobhan, do you know? Oh, pardon? It's a repeated pattern, right? It comes from the Italian word of the English word obstinate. So it's like when someone's, you say obstinate? You know, when somebody's annoying and they keep saying the same thing over and over, then that's sort of what an ostinato is. So an ostinato is just any pattern that you repeat. So you can do, that's an ostinato, a really simple one. You can also do, and make up stuff, right? So any sort of little pattern that you repeat, and sometimes we can put these along with what we're playing to make something kind of interesting happen. So what's a piece from book one? Somebody tell me a piece from book 1 or 2. Suggest a piece that, yeah.
Prelude?
Is that from book 1 or, how does it go? Is that from book 1? From 4 or 3? 2. Is it 2? Which prelude? Oh. Okay. Let's see. I can do that. See, the trouble is improvisation. You have to know it. Oh, no. Let's do it. Oh, that's the wrong key. I'll do it this way. Pattern like that. What about something simpler that I can play? Because you know, these that one has a little complex harmony. Maybe what's a simpler song? It was a good guess. You tripped me up if that's what you're trying to do. What about? Let's do "Goodbye to Winter." Right? How about I just do a simple? It's winter now in America, you know. Slow in the winter like molasses. So now, I didn't have to do anything new. I already knew the right hand, right? How many people know the right hand to Goodbye to Winter? A lot of people, don't they? And the left hand with just 2 notes. How many people can play a G and an F with their left hand? Right? So there, you can already make something, and it sounds totally different than the Goodbye to Winter that you know, doesn't it? So that's just a real simple pattern you can do with 2 hands. And it showed a couple things. I don't always have to do it in the same rhythm. I could do, or I could do it slower. Right? That was a pattern that I liked. But it was the same 2 notes, so I just varied the rhythm in the left hand. Can I get 2 volunteers? Or I'll volunteer you. It'll be really easy. You only have to play the left hand or the right hand. And the right hand you already know, and the left hand I'll tell you what to play. There's 1 volunteer, and there's 2. Come on up. What piece do you guys want to do a duet on? One that we know? What do you know? What book are you on? Okay, well, so you have plenty to work on. What's your favorite piece? Any pieces? It's so hard to choose, isn't it? Let's start with Cuckoo. Okay?
Remember that one?
You know that one?
I can't remember that one.
Oh, do you remember Cuckoo?
Do something that you know, like.
Or do you want to do the right hand to Cuckoo and he can do the left hand?
Okay.
Okay, why don't we switch please? Okay.
How's it going?
This will be your Cuckoo
Okay.
ostinato. Let me see. Yeah, okay, this is it. Right, that's your Cuckoo. And you do the right hand, you remember it?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's not do it too fast. How about... And you just play those 3 notes in whatever order you want to play them in, and however fast or slow. So it could be that you do... Sorry. Or it could be that you do... Either one, okay? Any way you want to do it. Let's see how this works out.
Okay, ready?
How about I connect you? Ready? And go. They don't have to match. Try it again. 1. And you ended on C together. Perfect. Okay, let's just stop there. Good work. Congratulations. So we heard a couple things there. Sometimes when you're improvising, things aren't going to sound particularly good together, right? In fact, they sound pretty awful. But that's okay, because in in improvisation, salvation's only a whole step away. So if you get to be on this note, and it sounds terrible, just hold that, and then that sounds much better, right? The next note will be fine. So, or you could, if you're stuck here, just do that. And the other, so that's rule number 1 of improvisation, is that you're only about a half step or a whole step away from something that sounds much better. And the other thing is, if you have something that doesn't sound quite good, if you do it 3 times in a row, then people will think you meant to. So if you're doing this, just repeat it, and then people, because if you do this and get off of it, then it sounds like you made a mistake. But if you do, then everyone thinks you meant to do it that way. They said, oh, well, it just is a little modern. Okay, does anybody want to try something? Another one? I need 2 more volunteers. We can try one. And another volunteer. You want to play left hand or right hand? Right hand, okay. Have a seat. What piece do you play?
Can I do book 3, 4?
Sure. What piece?
Probably the second one.
The Hartung?
Yeah.
Okay. And who wants to do the left hand? I'll do the left hand if no one else wants to. Okay, let me come up with the left hand. How about this? Because it's a quick thing. Okay, let's try that. Ready? And. Okay, keep going. I'm throwing you off probably.
Yeah.
So sometimes it gets a little bit tricky when you do it, but that's the right idea. And you notice there, I had one ostinato, and then I knew when the first part starts like this, and the second part does the same thing, but sort of in a different key, right? It comes with a 5 chord, with the G chord. So instead of going back to the C's, which wouldn't sound so good with that, we'd get that, that's not very good. Then I just stayed on the F and the G. So if you need to change your ostinato in the middle of it, you can. It's just a way to get you started with doing something. Okay? Great. Thanks for your help. All right. What about some other... what's a slow... Oh, here's a slow piece. I'll give you another ostinato pattern. So the first one I did was just... There was that one, right? And then we had this 3-note pattern. You can also do it with multiple notes. So if I do... this is... does anyone know what this is the left hand for? Oh, that sticks. Who knows this left hand? What piece is that? Chantarab, right. What if I do this instead of an ostinato? I'll take this. So now I have two-note ostinato, right? And I can also change the rhythm and make the notes switch at two different times. So now I have four different things that I can be playing. So let me see if I can do this. That won't work. Oh, I broke my rule, didn't I? So, and I just had to keep going, right? So that's just the A and the E, which we all know starts out Chantarab, and then I went up to B flat and F. So it's just the fifth, and it's up. So you can just do that. You can, another pattern I had was this one that sort of skips around. A good idea is if you can get rid of all your half steps in the pattern. We all know what half steps are, right? If you can sort of get rid of your half steps, it'll be a little bit better. That's why when I did the Goodbye to Winter, because those half steps gives you problems because I could end up like this. And that sounds not so good. So that sounds better than that, I think. So there's a variety of half step patterns, and I might give your teachers some ideas for things that we can do for ostinatos. But this is something that you can try to practice. So tonight for your homework, I just want you to pick one piece. It's easy. It's going to be easier if it's a piece from book one. Yeah, pick a piece from book one, since we're just starting out. It will be our book one improvisation. And find a really simple ostinato pattern. It can be fifths, or just a one note. It can be three notes, a little chord or something. It can be a little bit of anything. But find an ostinato pattern and put it with a right hand from book one. And we'll see how that goes, okay? Any questions about that? We can get it? All right. Rosemary, are you next, Rosemary? For a few minutes.